At the beginning of the story, we learn that thousands of years ago, the gods once lived on Earth. Back then, they ruled over humanity with cruelty and treated humans like slaves, but there was one goddess who stood against them, Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. Even though she possessed enough power to wipe out all of mankind, she chose to protect humanity instead. The greatest warriors on Earth joined Athena in this massive war. Together, they awakened a mysterious power sealed within the stars themselves. And once that power was unleashed, a terrifying battle between the gods and Athena's warriors shook the heavens. After ages of war, the gods finally disappeared from Earth, but Athena was destined to return one day, reborn as a human child. One night, a golden armor came crashing down from the sky at incredible speed. Inside it was the reincarnation of Athena herself. Just before the child could hit the ground, a brave warrior leaped forward and caught her safely in his arms. Although Athena had now been reborn as a little girl, making her appear human, divine powers still existed deep inside her. In the next scene, we meet Seiya, a young underground street fighter. Before entering a match, he stares at a picture of his missing sister and remembers his childhood. Back then, the two of them used to train together all the time, and no matter how hard Seiya tried, he always lost to her. But one day during training, a strange light suddenly began glowing from the pendant around his sister's neck. Seiya was shocked by what he saw, but his sister quickly warned him not to touch it. Moments later, she locked Seiya inside a room and begged him not to come outside, no matter what happened. Then a group of mysterious people stormed into their house and took his sister away while young Seiya helplessly watched everything from inside the locked room. Seiya is lost in those painful memories when the bar owner, Cassius, suddenly walks over and drags him toward the fighting ring. Cassius tells him that this time he better give the audience a real show and seriously hurt his opponent. The problem was that Seiya never fought to injure people. He usually stayed on defense, and somehow managed to win without badly hurting anyone, which the crowd absolutely hated. The fight begins, and just like always, Seiya focuses only on defending himself. Eventually, he defeats his opponent without going too far, but this only makes Cassius angry furious. Enraged, Cassius jumps into the ring himself to fight Seiya. A brutal battle breaks out between the two, but even now, Seiya refuses to attack seriously and only tries to protect himself. Taking advantage of that hesitation, Cassius beats Seiya mercilessly. Then, just as Cassius lifts him high into the air to slam him into the ground, Seiya suddenly experiences a strange vision. He sees his sister, and Athena herself, filled with rage. In the very next moment, a burst of glowing blue energy explodes from Seiya's body, forming the shape of giant wings behind him. Everyone in the arena is left completely shocked. At this moment, we discover that Seiya is actually the same legendary warrior who once saved Athena long ago. That's why he's been seeing these mysterious visions. Cassius thinks he has already won the fight, but suddenly, Seiya rises back to his feet. This time, he unleashes his true strength and completely destroys Cassius before quickly escaping to his dressing room. Inside, Seiya meets a mysterious man who has secretly been watching him for quite some time. Now that Seiya's powers have awakened, the man reveals that Seiya is one of the legendary warriors, and because of that, his life is now in danger. He tells Seiya that he needs to meet his boss, Ulmo, but Seiya doesn't really believe any of this and walks out of the club. Outside, he finally meets Ulmo himself. Ulmo explains that Seiya is a true warrior, and the cosmo energy that burst out of his body during the fight is proof of it. Ulmo also reveals that a dangerous woman named Gurad has been searching for powerful warriors to build an army of her own. And now that Seiya's powers have awakened, she definitely knows about him. That means Seiya has become a target. Ulmo urges Seiya to come with him immediately because Gurad's people will kill him if they find him first. But Seiya is completely confused and has no idea what any of this even means. Then suddenly, helicopters appear overhead as Gurad's soldiers arrive at the scene. Without wasting another second, Ulmo, Seiya, and Ulmo's loyal bodyguard Mylok begin running for their lives while heavily armed soldiers chase them down. During the escape, Mylok fires at the soldiers, but the bullets barely affect them because they're wearing highly advanced armored suits. Ulmo quickly escapes with Seiya and Mylok in his bulletproof car, while the helicopters continue hunting them from above. After a long and dangerous chase filled with explosions and brutal attacks, the three of them barely manage to escape Gurad's forces and finally disappear into a dark underground tunnel. Right now, Seiya had countless questions running through his mind, and he wanted answers from Ulmo. But Ulmo knew they didn't have much time because Gurad's soldiers could arrive at any moment. So to safely take Seiya with them, Ulmo's partner suddenly shocks him from behind with an electric device, knocking him unconscious. After passing out, Seiya once again sees a vision from his childhood. He's training with his sister Patricia, just like they used to when they were kids. But during the training, the moment Seiya touches Patricia's pendant, a strange glowing energy bursts out from it, That powerful energy is immediately detected by Gurad, and within moments, her soldiers arrive at Seiya's home. To protect her brother, Patricia quickly hides Seiya inside the house. But before Seiya can do anything, Gurad's soldiers capture Patricia and take her away while he helplessly watches. When Seiya finally wakes up, he finds himself aboard Almond's advanced aircraft. Almond takes him to a secret hidden location where he has been living in hiding from Gurad and her forces. There, Almond finally explains the truth. He tells Seiya that he is one of the legendary warriors, born for a single purpose, to protect Athena. Until Athena fully awakens her divine powers, Seiya must keep her safe from Gurad at all costs. But Seiya still has no idea what Almond is talking about. He doesn't understand who Athena even is. Then we meet a young girl living with Almond named Sienna. And shockingly, Sienna is actually the reincarnation of Athena herself. Seiya's mission is to protect Sienna until her godly powers fully awaken. Later, while Seiya is having dinner with Sienna, something terrifying suddenly happens. Sienna begins suffering violent seizures, and enormous waves of energy start bursting out of her body. Seiya is completely stunned after witnessing this. And at that moment, he finally realizes Almond was telling the truth all along. Athena is real, and Sienna truly is her reincarnation. After some time, Sienna slowly returns to normal. Later, while spending time alone with Seiya, she tells him her story. Years ago, she literally fell from the sky inside a golden armor, and ever since then, both Almond and Gurad had been taking care of her. But the shocking truth is that Gurad was once Almond's wife. Unlike Almond, Gurad always believed that once Sienna fully awakened as Athena, her immense powers would eventually destroy the entire world. Because of that fear, Gurad used the power of magical golden armor to create deadly weapons designed specifically to kill Sienna before her powers fully emerge. And until that happens, Seiya must protect her no matter what. In the next scene, Seiya is taken to a deserted island where a powerful night warrior named Marin begins training him. Her goal is to help Seiya awaken his hidden Cosmo power as quickly as possible so he can become strong enough to protect Sienna. At first, Seiya doesn't really believe any of this hidden power stuff, so he doesn't take the training seriously. But everything changes when Marin tells him that once he fully awakens his Cosmo and becomes a true warrior, finding his missing sister will become much easier. The moment Seiya hears that, he starts training with complete focus, because more than anything else, he wants to find Patricia. Meanwhile, Gurad visits Cassios, along with her men. She offers him mysterious magical powers and orders him to kill Seiya. Because once Seiya is dead, killing Sienna will become much easier. And since Cassios already hates Seiya, he immediately agrees to work with Gurad. On the other side, Seiya continues training under Marin's guidance. Day by day, he slowly learns how to control his powers and become a stronger warrior. In the next scene, Gurad's men capture one of Almond's allies and brutally torture him for information about Almond's secret hideout. At first, the man refuses to betray Almond no matter what. But when Gurad's soldiers threaten to kill him, fear takes over, and to save his own life, he finally reveals the location of Almond's secret base. Meanwhile, after enduring Marin's brutal training, Seiya finally learns how to control his powers. Suddenly, the pendant around his neck begins glowing brightly. Within seconds, it transforms into a massive metal box right in front of him. The box then shatters apart and reveals the legendary Pegasus knight armor, which instantly fuses with Seiya's body. At that moment, Seiya officially becomes a true warrior, gaining the power of the Pegasus knight. But then, Seiya suddenly experiences another vision. In it, he sees the moment from his childhood when Gurad's men took Patricia away. Except this time, he notices something shocking. Almond was there with them. After seeing this, Seiya starts suspecting that Almond may have been involved in Patricia's kidnapping all along. Filled with anger, Seiya storms toward Almond, demanding answers. He's so furious that when Almond's assistant tries to explain the truth, Seiya refuses to listen to a single word. That's when Sienna arrives and takes Seiya away to a quiet place so she can calmly explain everything herself. Sienna tells Seiya that when she was a child, she accidentally injured Gurad with her powers. To save her life, Almond used the Cosmo energy from the golden armor, the same armor Sienna arrived in from the sky, to heal Gurad. But after that incident, Gurad became dependent on Cosmo energy just to stay alive. That obsession slowly drove her down a dark path, forcing her to hunt warriors around the world and steal their Cosmo power to survive. In the beginning, even Almond helped Gurad, and the day Seiya touched Patricia's pendant during training, the Cosmo energy that awakened wasn't Patricia's power at all, it was Seiya's. That burst of energy revealed Seiya's location to Gurad, which is why she arrived there with Almond and her soldiers years ago. To protect Seiya, Patricia hid him away, But when Gurud arrived, she mistakenly believed Patricia was the warrior she had been searching for, so she captured her instead. However, Gurud later discovered that Patricia wasn't actually a warrior. Patricia knew Gurud's people were still watching her, so she never returned to Seiya in order to keep him safe, which means there's still a chance Patricia could be alive somewhere. Sienna also explains that Gurud wanted to kill her because she believed Athena would eventually destroy the world. But unlike Gurud, Alman always believed in Sienna. He trusted that she would never harm humanity, which is why he spent years protecting her from Gurud. While Seiya and Sienna are talking, they suddenly spot Gurud's advanced aircraft heading straight toward Alman's secret base. Realizing everyone there is in danger, Seiya and Sienna immediately rush back. Meanwhile, Alman and his assistant Mylok also realize that Gurud and her forces have arrived. They quickly begin sealing every entrance to the base, but it's useless. Gurud's soldiers smash through the doors and force their way inside. A massive battle erupts between Gurud's soldiers and Alman's men. When Gurud finally comes face to face with Alman, she immediately demands to know where Sienna is. Even now, Alman tries to convince her to trust Sienna, explaining that Athena would never destroy humanity. But before their argument can continue, Seiya and Sienna arrive at the battlefield. The moment Gurud's forces see them, they attack immediately, leading to another intense fight. Cassius is also there with Gurud, and he wastes no time attacking Seiya. This time, Seiya fights back bravely because his training is finally complete. Meanwhile, Mylok battles Gurud's soldiers on the other side, but despite his training, Seiya still struggles to fully control his new powers. Because of that, Cassius eventually overpowers him and beats him brutally, leaving Seiya badly injured. At the same time, Alman realizes there's no way he can stop Gurud anymore. As a final desperate move, he decides to destroy the entire base in a massive explosion to take Gurud down with him. But the plan fails. Gurud safely escapes the explosion, and she also kidnaps Sienna during the chaos. Seiya watches helplessly as Gurud takes Sienna away, but because of his injuries, he can't do anything to stop her. In the next scene, Gurud brings Sienna to her laboratory, where she prepares to kill her once and for all. Gurud tells Sienna that even though she never wanted things to end this way, she believes she has no choice. She's convinced that once Sienna fully becomes Athena, the entire world will be destroyed. Meanwhile, Alman's assistant informs the badly injured Seiya that Gurud has taken Sienna away, and she plans to kill her. Seiya feels completely lost and has no idea what to do next. Desperate, he focuses his mind and somehow manages to contact Marin. He tells her that he failed his mission because Gurud already captured Sienna. After hearing this, Marin explains that if Seiya truly focuses his heart and mind on Sienna, he can regain his powers, and once his Cosmo returns, he'll be able to save her. With renewed determination, Seiya leaves alongside Alman's assistant aboard an advanced aircraft to rescue Sienna. But as soon as Gurud's forces notice them approaching, they immediately attack the ship. At that moment, Seiya follows Marin's advice and concentrates entirely on Sienna. Suddenly, the pendant around his neck begins glowing once again, and his Cosmo power fully awakens. This time, Seiya is no longer afraid of his powers. He finally understands how to control them, becoming a true Pegasus Knight warrior. Seiya completely overwhelms Gurud's soldiers, and when Cassius steps in to stop him, Seiya defeats him with a single devastating strike. Cassius is left completely stunned, unable to believe Seiya knocked him out so easily. Meanwhile, inside the laboratory, Gurud has already begun the process meant to kill Sienna. The machine causes Sienna unbearable pain as massive amounts of energy burst out of her body. Watching Sienna suffer like this deeply disturbs Gurud, and she orders her men to stop the process because she can't bear seeing Sienna in pain anymore. But one of her men, Nero, refuses to shut it down. Unlike Gurud, Nero desperately wants Sienna dead. Even after Gurud tries to stop him, Nero refuses to listen, so Gurud orders her soldiers to kill him. But in the very next moment, Nero unleashes his true power. Nero is actually the legendary Phoenix Knight warrior. After transforming into his true form, he effortlessly kills Gurud's soldiers one after another. Then he approaches Gurud and begins absorbing the power of the golden armor from inside her body, so he can become even stronger and eventually rule the world himself. Right then, Seiya finally arrives at the lab. An intense battle instantly erupts between Seiya and Nero. Seiya, the Pegasus Knight, and Nero, the Phoenix Knight, unleash enormous amounts of energy while fighting, causing nearby buildings and structures to collapse around them. Meanwhile, inside the lab, Gurud desperately shuts down all the machines and computers in an attempt to save Sienna, but it's already too late. Sienna's divine powers have fully awakened, and she begins transforming into Athena herself. The moment Nero witnesses this, he becomes convinced that Athena truly will destroy the entire world one day. Determined to stop her, he charges towards Sienna to kill her. But the cosmic energy exploding from Sienna's body is far too powerful. Nero's armor starts breaking apart, and he's violently thrown across the room. At the same time, Sienna begins losing control over herself because Athena's powers are completely overwhelming her mind and body. Terrified of what she might become, Sienna begs Seiya to kill her before she loses control completely. And honestly, it already looks like the world is beginning to collapse around them as her cosmic energy tears everything apart. Hearing Sienna say this, Seiya slowly walks toward her and tries to calm her down, telling her that she can still stop this. But every step toward Sienna becomes more painful. The overwhelming cosmic energy surrounding her starts tearing Seiya's armor apart piece by piece until it completely breaks off his body. Even though he's suffering unbearable pain, Seiya refuses to give up. He continues moving towards Sienna, reminding her that she still has the strength to control her powers and save the world. Seeing Seiya suffer for her sake finally brings Sienna back to her senses. Little by little, she regains control over Athena's power, and suddenly everything becomes calm again. The destruction stops, and the world is finally saved. Afterward, Sienna walks over to Gurad, who is now badly injured. Seeing Sienna standing beside her, Gurad apologizes for all the terrible things she has done. Instead of hating her, Sienna uses her powers to completely heal Gurad. And for the first time in years, there is finally peace between them. Sienna is truly happy to have her mother back on her side. Meanwhile, Nero and Mylok, who both survived the battle, quietly leave the area. In the final scene, we see Seiya and Sienna sitting together peacefully. Sienna tells Seiya that they now need to find the remaining Zodiac warriors because the other gods have probably sensed Athena's awakening, and they may soon come to Earth themselves. And with that, the movie comes to an end. Seiya saved the world because he chose hope over fear, even when everything was falling apart. If you enjoyed this journey, share this video with your friends, because some stories deserve to be experienced together.